Hey, soul survivors. So the cat is out of the bag. This is what I look like when I wake up. Had kindergarten all day today, so a little tired. Had to take a nap. I was supposed to go live at 9. It's 10 p.m., a little after. Super tired, but I am here for you guys. I almost had three foster kids join me unexpectedly today, so kind of on edge about that, but they ended up getting someplace closer to their home, so that's probably what's best for them. Otherwise, they'd have to transfer schools. So you never know what life brings you. Sorry, I look so rough. I'm super tired. But we're going to talk about the delusions of grandeur. And are we actually feeding into that for the narcissist? A lot of us long for our person back. And, you know, over time, they just feel that we're always going to be there for them. We've been dedicated and they know who we are. Pretty much a lot of us love unconditionally. And we're going to talk about that because that can actually be to our detriment. Debbie, how are you? Good to have you. Sorry I look so rough. I just woke up. Good morning. It's 10:10. Sorry I'm late, guys, but this is kind of a good time. A lot of people log in around this time. I'll be on again tomorrow. I'll try for 9 p.m. tomorrow. Today's kindergarten day, so they give you a run for your money, especially the last class. There's this one kid. He is such a liar, Mr. Narcissist. He's really cute though. He has this like uh really unique he lies about everything in this devilish little look that he gets. Like he knows he's busted, but he will not come up off the truth. And we talk about the narcissist having a childlike mentality. And I'll tell you what, when I had my kindergarten days, had kids hitting each other and pushing each other. And I had one girl that she started crying and she pushed another girl. She was trying to crawl under her, and the other girl got hurt really bad. And of course, the girl just goes to her seat, and the other girl's crying. And I call her over, and she ends up starting to cry. And you never know exactly. Like, is she crying because she thinks she's in trouble? I don't think she was crying because she hurt her friend. She didn't mean to, but they really the lack of empathy, and that's based on the way that their brain is developing. So these kids are not narcissists, they're just kids. But how much they lie, the things they think they can get away with. Lily is here, Debbie is here. Good to have you guys. I know I look rough, but this is good morning. I was sleeping. That's what I look like. Actually, it's so funny when I sleep really well, my hair will be like terrible. So I didn't sleep all that good, I guess. My hair's not that bad. So Lily is saying hi to me and Debbie as well. Debbie, how's it going? Are you back on track or still having a hard time? I know you did a fantastic long sprint. Sometimes we got to start again, and that's okay. I made a video. I don't know if you guys are religious or not. It wasn't super religious, but on sometimes we get mad at God and feel that God's not helping us. And I think it was a good video. I hope that helps you guys. But with the delusions of grandeur, the narcissist is always super into themselves, thinking that they can oh, she had a little relapse. Yeah, she did have a little relapse, but 4 days is still a challenge. 4 days is good. Thank you for being honest. So we know Debbie's not a narcissist. It's good to be honest. That's why, when narcissists, they don't realize what they're missing out on by telling the truth. People can support them in the right way. And, a lot of times too, we're not here to judge the narcissist. We want to love them, we want to support them, but they don't let us love them the full amount. And so Lily's asking if you contacted him. I'll let you go ahead and answer that, Debbie. It is hard. It is hard that sometimes, we do relapse and we can go a long period of time. A lot of that is previous traumas in ourselves, whether it's abandonment issues or trust issues or low self esteem, where we want them to love us back so we feel loved. And, we have to love ourselves first. And that's the truest story I can tell you guys is loving ourselves first. I know one of the ladies that joins us in chat is really upset with God. Why hasn't God healed her? And we have to take the necessary steps. I know I look terrible, guys. Debbie says, sure did. I'm stupid. He still didn't respond, but he never blocked me. I wish he had. And that's the thing, this is a good lesson learned, Debbie, because we talked about that. And, it's like we're beating ourselves up. Just like I don't look pretty right now. But if I'm coming up to you guys, I know I don't feel pretty. I'm like, do you guys think I feel pretty? And you're like, no, not really. Like I probably shouldn't have asked today. And it just hurts us because we're like reaching out for things that we know aren't going to happen. We're beating ourselves up twofold. We're beating ourselves up because we're sad, and we're beating ourselves up because it's almost like a hard truth. Are they going to be there for us? And it slams us in the face. No, they're not. What did you email? Yeah, what was it that you said to him, Debbie? And no response. Sometimes, yeah, good point, Lily. Sometimes the way people text, what's up? Like we didn't give them anything to respond to, um, how's your mother feeling? That might be something like, oh, she's feeling better. But um, are we angry? Motherfucker, why haven't you called me? Like, I'm not going to respond to that either. So, text, oh, I laid it all out. And that's the thing, if I'm like, fuck you, motherfuckers, about fucking time you join in this live chat. What the fuck is wrong with you? I fucking woke up from my nap, and are you really gonna want to respond to me? So we have to take that into consideration too. I've done that too. I don't use like the anger, but it's like I've been thinking about you and you won't reply, and the pitiful little kid type texting, excessive texting. I need to sneeze. But should I invite him? You can invite him. You would, yeah, he's welcome if you want to invite him. I don't mind. Um, but, is that going to help him? You know, is that going to help him? I can invite a Jewish person to church. Is that going to help them? Is that what they want? They have to want it. Um, you should have wrote it and then backspace and delete it. Yeah, sometimes you can even send it to yourself. Um, but that's why the journaling that we talked about can be really helpful, where you write things down. You thought about it. I know we think about it and we're like, fuck it, send it. And we're beating ourselves up. I'll tell you, ladies, we are beating ourselves up. I don't know who else was in chat, but what was it that you said in a nutshell? I think you kind of wrote a long thing. And how many texts? How, if you laid it all out, girlfriend? I do not lay it all out in one text. How many did you send? Um, a lot of us had the same pattern. Lots of stuff. Give us an example. And you don't have to if you don't feel comfortable. Greeting. Oh, Basil is here. Yes. Basil, sorry I look so rough. I took a nap so I could be all rejuvenated for you guys. And I'll have to, we'll pretend this is me. We'll put a picture of a lady up. You guys are going to have to look at this. I'm embarrassed to be online. Um, but yeah, as far as, the the way we respond is very similar. So, Debbie, what you're going through, a lot of us went through. Don't feel embarrassed about it. Share what you want to share. You don't have to share anything that you don't want to, but it helps us to reply to you to help you understand yourself, helps us to be validated that, yeah, I guess I wasn't that crazy. Lily is saying hi to Basil. And, you know, it's astounding how similar a lot of us react. And thank you guys for that thumbs up. Helps with the algorithm. But um, a lot of us over text. A lot of us are, showing unconditional love, and we have to be careful on that. A lot of us were raised that love, treat others as you'd want to be treated, and all those kinds of things. And things are starting to change in society. Now, we should love the other person, a stranger or ourselves, but we have to realize that what is meant by that. Um, let's say Charles Manson, a super killer, you know, uh, you know, give him food. That's love. Give him, a cell to live in, or take care of his children if he's locked up, or things like that. Reassure him that, um, he'll have clothes and a shower, but that doesn't mean like have him in your house. He's going to kill everybody in your house. There's certain boundaries, protections that we have to put in place, and a lot of times we forget about that. Thank you guys. I got another thumbs up. I appreciate that. Man, am I getting sick or is this just waking up? Um, but a lot of us over try to communicate. We try to get our point across. And the thing is they have to know we're hurting. And because they don't have the empathy, they don't care. Have you ever gotten in a fight with your same-sex friend or non-sexual friend, and you just have like this terrible feeling, like, after a couple hours or a day or two, you're like, man, I shouldn't have yelled at them. And you reach out to them, you feel bad. But narcissists will go days and weeks and sometimes years. Basil, thank you. Basil, wait a sec. I got to get this to Basil because you're getting, hold on, Basil. Check plus plus. I have never in my life given away 3 check plus pluses. So thank you. I needed that today. Um, we won't know if he's here, will we? Hi, Basil. If he logs in, he might. I mean, if he says something, we'll know he's here. And that's the thing, whether he acknowledges himself or not, if he is in the chat, there are always things. Can you guys comment? Let me know. Have you always learned a little tiny something from me every time you log in, whether it's something about yourself or something about narcissism? But we feed this delusions of grandeur that we're always there. They're worth it. No matter what they do to us, they're worth it. And we forget to stop and think about what they did to us. They gave us somebody who they weren't. So we fell in love with somebody who isn't there. And they destroyed our lives a lot of times. They took from us with very little give back. They expected the things that aren't possible to be perfect. And when we weren't perfect, they easily discarded us. Like right now, if I was dating someone, let's say I got back with my narcissist, in love with them, and somebody was on par with them, that would be some mental turmoil. But eventually I would have to tell someone. And um they don't break things off. They will tell you, I mean, sometimes they do, but it's so crazy too. Like when you try to teach about narcissism, the narcissist can be on different aspects where one will be dismissive, another will be a stalker, and it's real hard. So Mia is here. Mia, so good to have you. Sorry, I just woke up, took a nap. That was a good nap. Debbie says I'm feeling fairly good, actually, which is good. And I started having a little bit of the anxiety lifted and the dissociation feelings. Brain fog has gotten better. It takes time. And Mia says, hello, everyone. Please, everyone, have a wonderful holiday weekend. Yes. Easter. Yeah, today's Good Friday. I'll tell you what, I got broken into on Good Friday, 1991. I still remember it. My ex narcissist had called me and he was supposed to come over and it was 2:20 in the morning. Mia, I sent you a message too. I 2 messages that John is good. So we just have to keep it in our heart that he's good. He's reached out a couple times. He's logged in from electronic tech or something like that. Alicia's computer, a friend of his. He's So he is okay. He has notified us twice. You guys are great with those thumbs up. John is doing good. It's the 7th. He's having technical difficulties with his phone. I'm not exactly sure. He said he tried like connecting and I didn't quite get it. I don't know if it's from the company or his apartment complex, but he's gonna sort it out. We can have comfort, he's okay. So, yeah, he is okay. We have to give him time, whether it's finances or the phone or technical difficulties, he will get it okay. Yeah. And yes, Mia, I did send you can you let me know if you got those messages? I did send you one in a deep thread and then another one I replied on a early thread. But I definitely wanted to let you know he is okay. And that's what I love about this community. That's why I woke up for you guys because I was like, "Oh, do I stay in bed?" Um, is we have such a good community of people where we actually care about each other, and that is so nice. Like, after we get that discard, a lot of times we just feel, "Am I lovable? Is everything my fault? And couldn't they see the good in me?" And Mia is saying hello to Lily, and we're glad you're here. Thanks guys for the patience. I am an hour late. I did notify you guys, but I needed that nap. Sometimes we have to take some self-care. And Debbie's back on her track 4-day streak, which is fantastic. But the delusions of grandeur. We feed into their ego, and we still believe a lot of the lies. We believe a lot of the lies. They're loyal, they're faithful. No, they're not faithful. They're this, they're that. And it's like, whoa, what are we thinking? You know? Debbie says I kept thinking it was Saturday all day. I told him I wanted to stay friends and he replied with dead silence. I texted him about what God says about the narc. Like that did anything. What was it that you said God says? To stay away from them? Let me know what you said in a you can do it in a nutshell or you can get deep and explicit. What was the word? Explicative. Mia says, Deb, most narcs don't care about God that I know. Yeah, most don't. Most don't. Most might. Some might be searching. Some might be searching. But yeah, a lot of them think they're their own God. And I know my second one, he would drop his kids off at church and then he would go do whatever. He called me a couple times. Um, that they can see value in it. They can see value in religion, but they don't always want that value for themselves because then they gotta walk a straight line. I'm curious to hear what you said to him about God. I do, let me know. This is where it's tricky for me. I did do that one video. I did it for Melissa where it was like, why isn't God healing me? And I don't know how religious to get with this. Calibri is here. Good evening, everyone. Hello, Cynthia. I love all the little decorations that you put with that. And I'm gonna apologize to you too. I feel a little self-conscious because I slept and look rough. Um, but I think I don't know. Do I have allergies? My nose is running a little bit. But as far as God, Lily says hi to you, Calibri. We're always glad to have you from Seattle. Um, and Mia says hello, K Flyer. I love that nickname. I didn't create it, so I'm still gonna call him Calibri, but I love that you call him that. Hello, Lily. Hi, Mia. Says Calibri. K Flyer. But you know, I want to be here for the way you guys need information. Some people learn through touch, kinesthetics. Some people learn through audio or visual. That I will bring forth to the table what I think you guys would like to know. But if you guys tell me what you need, I can get it to you. But I have to have you guys let me know that. Basil says from their endless. Hold on, Basil. What did I from? I don't know. I'm just gonna read what Basil said again. Cynthia, you always look good to me. I'll probably have to go back to her a couple times. Um, but yeah, as far as religion, they want to have control over their life. They want to be in control over people. They, in a sense, are their own God. And in a sense, we kind of worship them that, what they say goes. And, when they say jump, we jump. We say how high. Lily says, Debbie is good. You told him some bad, true things about himself instead of professing your love or whatever obsession for him. But hope you don't waste your time or energy anymore. And Debbie says, what I sent him was good, if I can say so myself. Much thought goes into it. And I'm curious what you said, though, because, and you don't have to expand on that. We're not going to berate you, but um, I've sent a lot of really good texts, a lot of really good analogies, and when it's responded to with silence, it doesn't get through to them. We can have the most profound statement, you know, um, like I'd even said once that, the silent treatment, when you're talking to somebody and you're talking to a brick wall, and this is like when you're talking to somebody close to you, they don't respond. A lot of relationships are mirroring. We mirror each other. And when we mirror each other, we're happy. If I'm happy and I say, how you doing? If you're sad and it brings me down and I'm like, what's wrong? Like I'm a little bummed that my friend's sad. That's that empathy that allows a true mirror. But um uh, uh what was I gonna say? Man, that was a good thing. Oh, so when we're talking to somebody and they completely don't respond, it almost makes us feel like we're dead because when you're talking to people, we're used to either go away, you're annoying me, or what do you want to talk about, or can we talk about it later? We're used to at least hearing some response. And then they don't even give us the time of day that it makes us feel almost like dead inside. And this is where the struggle in my eyes is we need to mirror. They are showing us a death of ourselves that we're not important and it doesn't make sense to us and we had to stay strong that we're not having feelings of unaliving ourselves, but it's almost like why can't you just say, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I mean, that's a hard truth, but they go so far with the silent treatment that it causes such devastation. And there are times we have to accept what they say. Were they honest with us and we're just hoping that they tell us 8,000 times, or did they tell us? We just don't want to accept it. Um, Leela says it's probably you getting the heebie jeebies, Calibri. Because he says, I still feel a chill of fright whenever I see the malignant narc in the hallways garage. Kalibi, what was it that he terrorized you with? I know you've had problems with him. Did he ever actually uh, do something that um, is causing you that, or you just have a fear of him because he seems narcissistic? Sometimes we pick up vibes. There are certain people that we feel we need to stay away from, and we don't even know why. Yeah, Kalibi, expand on that. I know you've kind of told us your story, but this malignant narc, is it based on things you've seen him do or things he's done to you? Um, that's hard. There, and Mia says, "Agreed, Lily." Yeah, the heebie-jeebies. I say that too. I like that you say it too. Kalibi says, "I said that because I know that malignant narcs could snap anytime. They can. Good point." Mia, K Flyer, you get a chill around them. It's an evil spirit. And Kalibi says, I believe that, Mia. Something evil in them creates that aura. And I've told you guys, I don't know if you guys believe in spirit. I don't even know what I believe in, but like spirits or ghosts or whatever. But yeah, you get those chills. I've had some supernatural experiences, and those chills, It's like, where is this coming from? Basil says after they've been living a lie for so long, they start to believe their own sense of false reality and forget the lie they secretly created from the beginning to mask their deep insecurities. That's the thing. Like when you lie, it's hard to keep track of the lies. Who did I say it to? And they can say different lies to different people. I'm a nurse at one incident, and another you're a teacher, and another you're this, you're that. And it's like, who was it that I told that to? They'll lose track of that stuff. Kalibi says, I'm to the point of telling them, look, we don't see eye to eye. Why don't they just not talk to me? And you can say that, you can say that. Uh, I prefer not to talk. We're not on the same page. You know, I don't wish harm on you, but it's probably better we don't talk. And that's the thing. We get scared to tell them. We get scared to tell them. Um, and that feeds their grandiosity. I get it, because they can be really ruthless. You know, um, Mia says yes. K Flyer, yes. Calibra says I could pick up bad energy on him, and we can, yeah. Mia says you can literally feel it. K Flyer. Calibra says he was the one who raged at me. Oh, okay. Yeah. Once somebody rages at you, you see those black eyes. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, Cleavy. Yeah. The the evil black eyes can be extremely scary. People can black out and do things, that they don't remember. And that's when it's scary, especially since the narcissist already has low empathy when they go into blackout stage. I just told you it's probably, and what was it yesterday was that lady's birthday, um, who got killed by her husband. Um, they black out. They have such high rage. And it a lot of it's caused by the adrenaline, but, you wonder too, is it some evil entity, you know? Um, yeah, it's hard with the spirituality and things like that. Debbie says, I told him God is my father and Satan is his. I told him the devil uses him, but he gets nothing in return. I'm sorry. Uh, I told him he needs to repent to God or he is going to hell. I said so many things. I talked to him about God. Um, and we have, I get where you're coming from. We have to be a little careful. People in their walks of faith can go through different things. That, if you told me I'm condemned to hell, like that's not going to necessarily want me to talk to you because you're telling me I'm going to burn in hell because I'm evil and a piece of shit. But I get where you're coming from. Sometimes the truth hurts. It's so hard communicating with people, you know. Um, and communicating the right way brings different outcomes. And Mia says, "Love it, Debbie. You spoke facts to him. Good for you, dear." And um, when we wonder why they didn't reply, because it might have been too harsh on their fragile ego. But are they gonna think about the things we said? We have to think about that too if we wanted to get our point across, you know? Um, uh, Kalibi says next, don't believe there's a God. They believe they are the God, which is true, which is true. Um, Mia says, good start, Debbie. Hopefully, prayerfully, he will get convicted and turn from his narc ways and start to self-reflect. Sometimes too, yeah, they have a big rude awakening, also known as a mortification. They may change, but when things are going good for them, they have no desire to. And I get where you're coming from, Debbie. I'm not trying to tear you apart because I've been there too. I've been there too. This is the hindsight's 2020 that narcs are really hard to talk to. Um, And, you gotta be careful once you start walking on eggshells, you have to finesse it in such a way, um, because during that devaluation stage, they don't wanna hear anything, and a lot of times too, the devaluation stage also comes because we wanna make things better, we wanna talk things through. You can have the biggest, kindest heart, like, "I want you to, you know, share the rest of eternity with me in the kingdom of heaven," and they'll take it as, "This is annoying," or whatever, and we're like, "Whoa, I was just trying to talk to you, you can disagree." Debbie says, he was probably thinking, 'Shut up. I always try to say something because I care.' I told him, 'Why keep waking up every day miserable and unhappy, needing supply?' I told him, 'No, thanks.'" Yeah, and yeah, we have to remember that, we're saying that, you know, if you need something so bad every day, you need this supply, but we have to look at what we're in this process right now. A lot of us are hoping for their validation. And Mia says, "Cynthia, yes, true. When life is good, they care less, and when stuff goes wrong, it's always why me, the victimhood." Yeah, they can seem completely content. Things can go exactly their way, and the test of love. I think a lot of us are really good people. We put in that time, and we went through a lot of tears, blood, sweat, and tears. And a lot of us are still hoping to work through things. And the narcissist, maybe we burnt the chicken and we're pieces of shit, not worth it now. Um, and that's hard for us to kind of comprehend, and we don't want to comprehend it. That's why we get stuck in rumination. And we're going to talk about how to heal too. Kalibi says these narcs are always miserable. That is their true nature because of lack of empathy. And they can hide that miserability. I like creating words. Um, we think they're fine. And a lot of times that's because they don't communicate it. Or when they do, man, sometimes they do. Mine were not communicators, or they did the dirty looks, that kind of communication. Bessel says the narc I know calls himself a therapist to people so that he could gather up all their personal information to use it against them in many different ways later on. He didn't even graduate high school. Also, too, that's one thing, too. High school on divorce rates and coping skills, all that. That's interesting. One of mine didn't either. The other one graduated college. Mia says 1000% true cave flyer. Yep. Debbie says I'm not in love anymore, which feels great. I'm happy, I'm content, and I am sure he doesn't like but I don't care because this is me. And yeah, just live your life without him. And we have to get to a point where when we do get to that place where we're over that hump of need or desperation or sadness, where we're starting to get more strong, that we don't need to give them a lesson. you know um right now I could log in and have you guys join me in chat and teach you Chinese. I can teach you Chinese right now. Is that what you want? Is that why you're here? Is that what your patience is for? Do you even have that interest? You guys would log off in a heartbeat, even though you guys love me. Um, People have to want it. And these narcissists don't want to learn about themselves. They don't want to learn about empathy, and we're wasting our time. Right after we log off, I could have a Chinese class. Nobody's going to join me. It's so sad. Kalibi says, and they are perpetually envious. Um, Envious, not always of us, but envious of others. We can put it that way. That they'll feel like they never had everything. They'll feel content until something better comes along. You know, if they have, you know, Kalibi says, and sadly, narcs don't know how to truly love. They don't know what is love. They could emulate it, but false. Yeah, they learn a lot. That's their survival skills is a emulation where they fake it and, they can fake being a good husband or wife. They can fake happy Christmases. They can fake this, fake that, um, fake compassion, but they don't really feel it. And because they don't feel it, they feel very lost in life. They don't have a connection with people. And, they go through long periods of time too where they can be really pleasant and kind, but even the little things that like it's almost impossible even to teach you guys because it can be so subtle. The little word shifts. Um my mind doesn't think that way, so it's real hard to come up with examples, but the little mind shifts like uh, the super subtle ones can start eating at your self-esteem. And I told you too how they did these studies on if I'm like, "Do you guys feel okay? You feel okay today?" And you're like, "Yeah, no, I'm okay." And, throughout the day, people are like, "Did you get enough sleep? You look really tired." Or, "Are you sick? What's going on with you? Do you need a break?" Eventually, you're gonna feel sick and go home. It messes with your mind. So the narcissist starts messing with our mind with those little things like that, where um, they start cutting us down and it's really subtle. And you can be like, all Cynthia did was ask me if I'm feeling okay. I can change the way you feel. If other people do it, it can make you start questioning why are so many people asking if I feel okay. Once you start questioning things, it almost brings it to life. It was a really interesting study on that. Basil says he tells his new suppliers that he saved many lives from getting destroyed by giving them valuable life-changing advice. But first, they must open up their hearts to him and trust him fully. Psychopath. Interesting. That's kind of like the way the cults work. Um, does he ask for any money? That's interesting. Uh, yeah, sometimes people just like the dirt. They like the gossip. They like to know everything. Kalibi says what's chilling was before the narc raged at me that day. He told me that he felt real empty. Wow. That's interesting. Can I ask you what was it that he raged at you for? And Kalibi says hello to Basil. Um, that's interesting. Yeah, when they have a bad day, that's when they will go berserk. Debbie says, I keep hitting that send button because that's where my backspace is on my phone on Facebook. I told him this time I'm not coming back. I told him I have boundaries and I have self worth, kind of like that. And that's the thing. If I'm like, Debbie, I don't ever want to talk to you again. A lot of times people are like, okay, I won't say anything. So based on what you were saying to him, sometimes too, they do respect our boundaries. They do. We told them, I don't want to talk to you again. And they don't see the purpose in beating a dead horse. So we have to remember that too when we're like, I didn't hear anything. Well, we sometimes subconsciously want them to chase us. I'm not saying that's what you did. Um, you probably didn't love me anyways. Oh, I loved you. Um, you know, where we gotta be careful on the words we say too, and what our true intention is. And when healthy people have a communication, it's a lot easier. Debbie, were you hoping that he reached out? And I think that's if you can share that with us, that'll help us have a deeper look. Um, because sometimes we get hurt, or was it freeing? You didn't want him to reach out to you? Okay. Um, so sometimes we want the last word, you know. Uh, okay, good. That's good, Debbie. Sometimes we need that final text, so maybe this is part of your healing journey where you set those boundaries in place and had to let them know. Um, So Lily says, was he your ex, Calibri, or just a friend? Basil says to Calibri, hello. Calibri says he mentioned that someone stole a garden chair, and I didn't agree. I said maybe that someone was only borrowing that chair, and that started him to rage at me. Yeah, don't have an opinion. Calibri, you were so wrong. Calibri says maybe he was the one who stole the garden chair and just projected on someone stealing it. Could be, could be. Um, Interesting. Yeah, it could be. So Debbie, good for you. I'm proud of you. Yes, but I didn't expect him to reach out. He's stubborn. Yeah, and we have to, in the future, that when we do try to communicate with somebody, that we really know our intentions. So Debbie, I'm not talking about you, but if we're like, you know, um, angry at them, and we're like, yeah, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you for a week, and we really want them to call us, that we just told them, I don't want you to call me because we wanted them to run after us and comfort us. Like, no, 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 I love you. Don't make me go a week without you. Be careful. People will give us what we ask sometimes too. Um, that we understand our wording, just to make things healthier. And that's the thing, even just little lies really cause a lot of problems. There are certain times that lies might be helpful, like to protect yourself. Right now, I'm not going to tell you guys what my address is. Um, if I met you guys at the bar, I don't have to tell you my address. Um, and sometimes we feel like caught up in a corner, that people just push and push, and it gets scary. There are some people that do tend to overpower us. Narcissists and psychopaths, sociopaths, they have a way of communicating. They spent their whole life uh, and it's that lack of empathy that when they lie to us, it seems so believable. Like these kids at school, um, they haven't really developed the empathy yet, and it's hard to tell. Not that one little boy; he is so transparent on lying. He's cute and a nightmare at the same time. Uh, Debbie, why would he keep that door of text open but ignore me? Supply. You know what? I don't block people. I'm 52. How old is he? My age group, um, uh, we're not into all that blocking. Some of you guys are, but I don't block. I don't, doesn't mean I want to hear from you. I'm just not going to reply. If I've told you whatever or the friendship's over, um, yeah, I I don't want to waste my time going through and learning how to do all that stuff. Depends. Um, Everybody's different. A lot of people block, unblock, add a new account, reach out, block. It's hard, Debbie, because it can be different things. You can keep the Facebook open so you can stalk them, or to be reached out, or you don't give a fuck about taking the time to block them. Um, or maybe he wants you to see what he's posting, kind of like a slap in the face to you, or he wants to see what you're up to. I wouldn't read too much into it because it can be any of those, and we'll never know. We will never know. So something not to worry about, you know. Um, we can rack our brains on that thing, or we can rack our brains on what Calibri made for dinner. Calibri, what'd you make for dinner tonight? Basil says they never accept their insecurities, which is why they are always at war with themselves and reflecting their psychological suffering constantly onto others as a survival mechanism. Excellent point, Basil. We don't talk about that enough. That, you know, they're hiding their insecurities, and they overcompensate um to distract from their insecurities. And Basil says because without supply, they can't survive. They have a very difficult time. They get extremely depressed and they feel so entitled. Kalibi says, I agree, Basil. By not being available in low contact, these narcs are desperate. And that's why they do the hoovering. They need that supply. So if they have grade A supply going on right now, they might not need us. But I'll tell you what, that's why they hoover when things go low. So Debbie says, so Basil, he gets to hear whatever I want to say. I told him I'm not doing this forever. Oh, that wiener blocked me months ago. His loss, not mine. And um and Debbie, you had, I believe, him reach out to you on unknown numbers. And I think you said he blocked you somewhere. Is this another profile? How do you know he's getting your messages? He was a little confusing on the different avenues of contact. Cleve says I had barbecue pork with spinach salad with strawberries and blueberries, feta cheese and avocado dressing. All right, well, I had a salad. I had a salad with some pork. I did have pork. I have chicken defrosting right now. Um, Man, you eat better than I do, Calibri. Yeah, I told you guys about my health journey. My health journey is going really good. Eating a lot healthier and getting rid of actually some arthritis and inflammation. So I've been doing good with that. So when I meet you guys up, we are about 3,000 subscribers away from our little meetup. Um, yeah, I'd like to do a meetup with you guys. That's my thing. I want to meet you guys in person. Um, I'll have to do something. Um, but how we were talking about the delusions of grandeur is a lot of the times the narcissists we reinforce that they can do what they want and some people are always going to be there. That we forget that we're not teaching them a lesson. These are teachable moments, and we forgive, and they repeat the pattern. They just go person to person. Um, how I relate it to the kids at school with the low empathy. It gets so exhausting like every Friday. Like I love you guys. Thank you. I think I was late last week too. That those Fridays kill you. Like trying to handle everything and understand. You say I'm not sure it was him on those numbers, but that stopped. I blocked those numbers. He has me blocked on Facebook, phone. I can text but not call. Stupid. And those messages might not even go through, you know. Yeah, I don't think those messages are going through. How do you guys know I'm a little naive on that stuff? It might go through. I know I was seeing something on YouTube too. What's it called? Shadow banned. Because I can block I try not to, but there are people I can block. And you can sit here, fuck you, Cynthia. Da, you can send me all these messages. I never get them. So I wonder if you're just still blocked and he might not even get those. So we're sitting here, what do I say? Or let me reword that. But I get it. Sometimes I get it. Cleve says, I went to that Asian store by me and bought some roast pork, barbecue pork, and a small container of Asian noodles. I'll tell you what, I went to China and some of like Guangzhou had excellent food. Depends on where you went. Xiamen was a beautiful country or area in China. Uh, Remind me of Hawaii, but I didn't like their food. It was all body parts. Um, it was fancy, like, you could if you liked fish, you would have loved it. I'm not a f I don't like any kind of seafood, so that kinda made it hard. You could tell it was gourmet, some of it, other than the body parts, but they did beautiful, beautiful pastries. Their pastries were a little different. You see something that looks like the most mouth-watering, sweet, decadent thing, and it's, uh, a sausage biscuit kinda tasting thing that looked like a donut. It's just they messed with your mind. Um, but yeah, uh, it was neat the beautiful food that they can do. I told you I was pretty lucky. We got treated like princesses and princes over there. 5-star, like top of the line treatment. It was amazing. 5-star dinners and hotels and it was nice seeing how the other people live. Lily says, I have to get back to the gym. Had a bad cold almost 2 weeks. Put 18-year-old beloved cat. Oh, you had to put your cat down. So got to get back on track. That's hard. Um, but you were blessed. 18 years is phenomenal. I'm sorry for your loss. I know that's hard. And yeah, there's times where you're like, yep, I gotta get back on track. Calibi says, so sorry about your cat, Lily. I could empathize. I had to do that the same 4 years ago. And I get worried about Dixie, my little Dixie dude. Do you guys see her? I gotta be careful with my camera. There's Dixie. Is that Dixie or the no, where's Dixie? That's her little monkey over there. Dixie, Pop Pop, where are you? Pop! I don't know, maybe she's still napping. I told you guys I took a nap. I don't know where my pup is. Dixie, I hear you. Um, yeah, sorry about that though. Kalibi says my new cooking project, Korean cooking, I've put together. I don't know how to say it. Napa or Napa cabbage kimchi. Tell me again what kimchi is. You told me before. Is that like the way it's wrapped? I'm not sure. Tell me again what kimchi is. It's either a lettucey kind of thing or something, or the type of food. Debbie, not a monkey. LOL doesn't fly. Look how dead it looks. Yes, I took that narcs monkey. See that brown thing and like right there. That's her little toy monkey. Debbie says 3 years ago I put my dog Bella to sleep. She was 14. Oh, what kind of dog was it? Where is my Poppers? What are you doing? Oh, you're good. Okay, Dixie's alive. My pup's alive. Come here, pup. I like that joke though, Debbie. Yes, it is not a flying monkey, and arcs love to do that. It's fermented cabbage. Okay, I pictured like the leaves in chili and paprika spices. Come here, pups. Come here. You guys want? Come here. Up. Come here, Dixie. You're so lazy today. Come here. Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? It's okay. Oh, did you hear my pup? A Yorkie poo. They break up. That sounds sweet. Basil says they break up as soon as they feel that their victims are about to break up with them and feel proud and needed when they tell others they left you. Yeah, a lot of them have that abandonment. Come here, honey. Come here. It's okay. Why are you acting weird? Oh, here's the Dixie do. Okay. There. Um, yeah, sometimes it's a "I'll leave you before you leave me" type thing that, they don't want if they do it, then they feel it's alright. They don't wanna take the having to accept that they, are disposable, when somebody breaks up with you. So, yeah, isn't she sweet? I don't know why you barked, I'm so sorry or squealed. I'm sorry, puppers. She's a sweetheart. She is getting a little older. Yeah, she's starting to hurt on that. I think she has a little bit of arthritis, but she's the sweetest dog. Oh my gosh. Debbie says he's probably talked crap about me, but I don't care. Yeah, they love those smear campaigns. They'll just make up anything. It's sad. Um, that's why we got to be careful too. Is they can destroy other potential relationships that might have worked out for you. So whatever, it didn't work out with the narcissist, but now, the entire town thinks either you're a whore or
whatever, shitty cook or can't keep your finances together, or you beat your kids, or whatever it is that they say, people are going to shy away from you because of that narcissist. And those are smear campaigns and it can affect your life. So be careful messing with them. Basil says, as if it's your loss, not theirs, but in reality, it's the other way around because they are the toxic ones in the relationship, not the other way around. They love twisting the truth to look good in public. Yep. And the thing is they can go years undetected because, we blindly trust them. We blindly give them a lot of grace. And we have to be careful with the grace that we give people. Is it warranted? And that's hard for us a lot of times, you know. Um, I think sometimes too we look at, I failed. I shouldn't have done that and I learned that lesson. Maybe this is their time to learn the lesson. They don't learn from their lessons. And, you know, um, it's different when you don't know certain things, but when they flat out know it'll hurt you, that's the difference. Uh, when they know it's going to hurt you, you know, um, because when you realize that you're hurting someone, a lot of times you'll change. But if you already know it's hurting them and you do it, you don't want to change. That's where the difference is. That was a profound statement. Play that on repeat 18 times because that sums it all up. Basil says narcs need us more than we need them. Once we break free, once we break free. Um, but this is the thing, yes and no, because they can replace us because we're objects. So they'll go object to object to object to object. We fell in love with them, just like you know, if I had a child, that child is irreplaceable. You can give me 50 new babies today. That's not going to replace the babies I had that I miscarried. It's not. Um, but they're like, okay, whatever, you know. Um, they don't have that connection. Uh, Debbie says, Basil, you are absolutely right. His lost losing his super empath. And I noticed you say the word super empath, and that's very crucial that we learn to be empaths, but not super empaths. We got to stop being super empaths. That's going to be hard for me, but that's when we get walked on. That's when we get taken advantage of. Being a super empath, sometimes we want to feel proud of ourselves for that. We're not Jesus. We are not Jesus. Um, where we forgive and accept um, that we put ourselves in the line of fire sometimes that we don't necessarily have to. Are we saving a hurt tiger that's going to destroy us, kill us? You know, and I hope that analogy makes sense. That are we trained? Are we qualified to help them? That a therapist maybe, or the correctional system, or God himself, but sometimes, we care about people who can really hurt us. And I know this one mom, it's kind of sad. I taught 7th and 8th grade in Florida where the severely emotionally disturbed kids, and this one of my students was a foster kid, and this one woman took her on as a foster child, and she was beating the crap out of the foster mom, and that lady was scared for her life. Plus she had kids of her own at home, and based on the Florida law, she had to kind of keep this lady, and there's also paperwork that they had to go through, and she took that little girl on, like, I taught 7th and 8th grade. I can't remember if she was in 7th or 8th, but, she took this middle schooler on to help her. Thought she was doing the right thing, and that kid terrorized her, tormented her, made her, like, scared to go to sleep, beat up her own kids, and, you know, She was a super empath, and it was to her detriment, that we gotta be careful on that. That lady didn't deserve what she went through trying to help somebody. Um, so Debbie says, if I'm an object, I want to be KitchenAid Go quality. Yep. Get mix it up. Be that little blender. Yep, be a KitchenAid. I know. Not what's a Walmart brand? Vassal says, meaning to protect and preserve our emotions, not the narc. LOL. Exactly. Kalibi says, I still believe in being stoic around these fools. Yeah. Yep. Just be stoic. I love that word. Good vocabulary. Debbie says, I'm a super empath. That's a fact. I'm an indigo child and I'm not ashamed. And just like that lady that I just gave you that example of, like that's a beautiful quality. That's a beautiful quality she took on this child. Almost killed her kids. And that's why we can be proud of that, or we can realize that it could be to our detriment. There are times that, you know, like I can swim, but let's say I couldn't swim. I have the biggest, most loving heart, and I see somebody drowning, and I go save them. I can't swim, but I'm so worried about my empathy. I'm so worried about them that I forget I'm going down. I am going down. We have to make sure when we're not going to go down. We do more good when we're not taken down. So I can have all that empathy for the drowning victim, then I die, and I miss out on helping a whole community or things like that. That we put our effort where our effort should be. Our effort should not be in toxic people. You can be cordial to them. You don't want to make them suicidal. You don't want to make them feel, you know, like lepers or whatever. But we don't have to get super close. You know. Um, Lily says stoic for sure. He told me his story how he fell off a roof. Oh, mine did too. Fell off a roof and I didn't say anything back. All I was thinking in my head was the life insurance policy I have on him. Uh-oh. Did he really fall off a roof? Huh. Yeah, sometimes too we have those little naughty thoughts too, you know. But that's part of being a human, you know. Uh Look at me laughing to Lily. Yeah, there comes a time when you're like, I'm just over it. Um, and there's no set time. Some of us have been with that person for years upon years. Some of us are like 4 weeks. I can't take it anymore. Kalibi says it's best to put on that poker face and get them confused. Yeah. They'll go away too. Um, it'll be a matter of time, but uh or sometimes too they can get angry too. Mia says, "Sorry, shouldn't laugh, but life insurance got me." Yes. And that's the thing, like, certain things can resonate with us, um, and make it either funny or offensive or whatever. We all have these little things that mold us throughout life, and a lot of the narcissists, they were molded in trauma. That's why they're always on the defense, even if you're like, "Good night, baby. What are you cheating on me?" You're like, "Whoa, wait, what?" A lot of it comes out of the blue. And, you know, uh, the devaluation stage, you know, I listen to these, the self-aware narcissists. Some say, nameless narcissists will say 52% can go into remission. Um, the other ones that I see are happy. Nameless narcissist, you'll still see some frustrations. He's honest about his shortcomings or frustrations, but other ones seem to be getting a lot of supply. They're charging like $150 an hour for uh chats, and some, I think they even have 15 in the room at a time. That's like $1,500 an hour. And they both got the 2 that I'm thinking about both got back with their wives and, like, they won in a sense, but how are they gonna be when things go bad? It can work when it goes good. They still have struggles, but I don't know. Uh 'Cause I like that challenge too. Can I make it work? Not that I love this person. It's so crazy. Um, Leila says, "I pay the premium for him and me, and I changed my beneficiary and took him off." Yes, he did fall off a roof, some work, or who knows. He always has drama. Why he still tells me, I have no idea. Hmm. Yeah. And, so Debbie says, Leela, I laugh myself, and Leah says, I'm laughing too. You guys are adorable. Basil says, Cynthia, do you believe that hypnotherapy sessions can put a person to sleep or dream, or are those guys exaggerating the effects of it all? So here's the deal. I am a certified hypnotist myself. Um, and it depends on the person. Like I told you guys, my experience with hypnotherapy, I was a burn victim. They told me to go back to my favorite birthday. It was not my favorite birthday. I caught on fire on my 5th birthday at my birthday party, July 26, 1975. Remember it well. So I uh, was chosen in high school to be one of the people that got hypnotized. We had this whole auditorium. And I saw myself like starting to feel like that trance and going down this tunnel. And at the end of the tunnel was a light. And I'm also religious, so I didn't know what was on the other side of that light. I didn't know if I could come back. Now that was my experience. I snapped myself out of it and I just acted. I pretended like, ooh, whatever. I pretended. I lied. I acted, but it was still a lie because they believed me. Um, but I had that experience, and there were certain things that, like holding this Abby, um, holding up a balloon, and with your arm out like this. If you guys were to do this right now for about 25 minutes to an hour, either your arm's going to start to get tired. It's almost impossible to pretend you're having a balloon holding your arm up where it's just relaxed. And if you do that for a half hour, like eventually you're gonna, you can tell if somebody's faking it. Um, and of course, I wasn't under the trance, so I could kind of see it. But as far as the hypnotherapy, based on my certification, the things that I have learned, I'm thinking about maybe even doing live, um, recorded live. I got some people lined up that want me to hypnotize them. Depends on your willingness. You have to be willing. You have to believe it's going to work. If you don't believe it's going to work, or if you're scared that then it won't work, you have to be open to it. Um, and it it is real. Like I will tell you that it does work. It will not work for everybody, but when you get into the subconscious mind, um there's also barriers like, you will not do something you don't want to do. So no matter what I say, if I said go kill someone, you're not going to go do it. And hopefully you have a good therapist who doesn't tempt you, because some people might have those little aggressions that they have been able to control. But if something you don't want to do, if you're against smoking, I'm not going to get you to smoke a cigarette. So if you have that inherent desire to quit smoking and you're just struggling with it, I can reinforce it in different ways. So hypnotherapy does work with some people. Hypnotize that monkey over there on the floor, by the way, to fly away. Yeah, you are getting sleepy. Oh, you're dead. You're the dead, the dead monkey back there. Um, yeah, I have some people who are willing to be hypnotized. There's also I need to do more research on. There is group hypnotherapy, which is something I'm considering doing when I get bigger, but I don't know how effective it would be online. I was thinking about maybe doing a few sessions with you guys where you can kind of experience it um, because if you can go into that trance-like state, the deeper you get, the better it is. It just depends on how relaxed you are and trusting, or, distracted. If some of you are like, "What do her curtains look like today?" Um, so yeah, like that's why I got certified in hypnotherapy. I do believe it works. Not with everybody, but it does. Um, and it is a trance. It's yeah. Kalibi says just don't laugh at their actions or faces. They will surely take it personal. You're right. Basil, I call them dramatizing sessions. I tried to join a class once. It was pure comedy. Sometimes, sometimes it's so fake. Or the person just doesn't have the right technique. If I'm like, "Let's go. You guys, let's get in a trance." And you're like, "This is supposed to be relaxing. Like, this isn't working. I'm so pumped up. You guys can do it. Go in that trance right now." It's not going to work. It has to be calm. You have to kind of relate to things. And there's certain steps, and then they bring them back out. Um, yeah, some can be comedy. Debbie says, yeah, hypnotize that monkey to fly away. No, I love it. Dead on the floor. Kalibi says, I saw one of the flying monkeys today in the garage elevator. Garage? Where are you from? In Boston, they'll say garage. I dated a guy in Boston. I couldn't understand a thing he said in the garage. Garage. She was voted to be one of the board officers. Oh, it just went. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I hate it when I'm getting back down there. Then by some reason she resigned. I wonder why. I wonder. I don't know. Basil says to Debbie, I want to hypnotize myself to never believe I was a supply source to the narc, then go deeper in hypnosis to not believe that narcs exist in the first place because they are scary humans. We have to know that they exist. We have to be able to protect ourselves. We can't be in denial that they exist. Otherwise, we're going to fall prey again. Um, and that's the thing. Like, we have to accept that that happened to us. We have to accept that there are people out there who use other people, and unfortunately, we were used. It'd be nice if we could just forget that. Yeah, and this is the thing. I don't want you guys to think you were unlovable because of that. Um, you're what I call high quality, and they just took that for granted. Um, they saw the value in you, just like right now, uh, if I had a bunch of jewelry that if you were a thief, you're going to steal the most valuable. If you only had enough room to pick up one thing, you're going to steal the most valuable. They saw you as the most valuable, but unfortunately, they just like a thief, they'll have an ulterior purpose. They'll steal that perfect piece and go sell it for other reasons, and it's sad. Kalibi says, I asked her why she resigned. Oh, she made an alibi that her husband just retired and she wants to go on tours with him. And that could be, but is she touring? Sometimes they don't want to say, "Oh, they kicked me out. I didn't pass a criminal background check or something." And that's where it gets tricky she could be fighting with her husband. Or it could be an excuse, and that's where it gets tricky. Our mind is like, well, maybe her husband this. But we don't know. Like, it gets to the point where we don't know when people are telling the truth, and it can be exhausting. Debbie says, Basil, I'm in line behind you. This was just a bad dream. Yeah. Kalibi says, I guess she just can't say. She finally found out the narc within the board officers. She's just not saying. Could be. Definitely could be. Basil says to Debbie, beautiful line. Yes, that is true. Lily says, I believe in aromatherapy. Sounds silly, but 2 weeks ago, my client was so bad, and I was feeling was a reflection of me as his behavior therapist. But people weren't thinking that because he listens to no one. what kind of scents do you like for aromatherapy? That he was feeling bad was a reflection on you as his behavior therapist. Okay, yeah. Yeah, sometimes we have to give ourselves some grace that we start feeling things. Um, Kalibi says, "This is my funny concept of aromatherapy, that someone farted in the room and everyone left." Yeah, get rid of those narcs, just fart. Yeah, we could do that. That could be my little gimmick of what I sell. Get rid of your narc with aromatherapy. Debbie says, LOL. Lily says, part two. So after work, I go to Walmart and I'm like hyped up, stressed. And then I go to the candle aisle because I like those wax ones. And I smelled it and felt relaxed right away. And that's cool. Yeah. Some do you know about Scentsy? I used to sell Scentsy. Lily says, LOL, Calibri. Calibri says, Narc saw the goodness in us, empathy and helpfulness to other people. And Debbie says, I used to have a monkey with a banana in his hand. He was pretty old. My mom threw him in the garage. I pulled him out. Yeah, taking control back, mama. Um, and, Kalibi, you're right. They do see the goodness of us, the empathy, and also how we're helpful. Like they want what we have to offer. They just don't want to offer it back, and that's the sad thing. So, guys, I will be on tomorrow. Oh, I'm bleeding. Look at what I just did to myself. Huh? I'm bleeding to death. Jeez, that's crazy. Um, So I'm going to log on tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm still tired. Those kindergartners did me in. But guys, thank you so much for the thumbs up, for joining in, and lots of love to you guys. Have a fantastic. Did you see that? Oh, the bump on my hand? I don't know if you guys can see. Well, I got marker and stuff. It's right here. It's still there. I don't know if you can really see it. Uh, but yeah, it's still there. So, yeah, that bump is it's gonna take 12 to 18 months to go away, and hopefully over the summer, but, like, when I sharpen pencils, I don't know. I sharpened, like, 800 pencils in one day, so it kinda irritates me, but thank you for asking. You can see the bump? Yeah. You can see the blood on my wrist too. I'm a mess. Kalibi says, bought my candles today at the $1.25 store this afternoon. Scented ones. I'll have to go there. I know it's $1.25 now, but that's still a good deal. Mia says, bless you, Cynthia. Please have a peaceful, restful night. Sleep, please. Enjoy your holiday sunshine. I love that sunshine. Like that. I don't know. That's something that stirs something up. And I haven't put a pin on it. Something somebody must have said about sunshine that warms my heart. However, I don't know, that touches my heart in a little girl way. I don't know why. It feels like love. So thank you for that. Debbie says, let's talk about narcs and sex. All right, I can stay up for that. We could do that tomorrow if that's okay. Definitely. You know. Oh, I got a thumbs up. Was that the thumbs up? Either that I'm bleeding to death, sacrificing my life for you guys, or about the narcs and sex. We can definitely do that. And sometimes too, people confuse sex for love. So that's a good topic, Debbie. Kalibi says, have a restful night, everyone. Night, night, Cynthia. Lots of love to you. Lily, look at those smiley love hugs. Night to all. Basil, Debbie, I can imagine that they are so. Yeah, actually, guys, man, I don't know if I want to put that in my title. I have my first, um, maybe if I write physical intimacy, uh, that can be a good topic though, whether it's porn or masturbation or like multiple partners, polygamy, all that kind of stuff. So that actually is a good topic if you want to talk about it. Um, Mostly they're good lovers from my experience. I am not a narcissist, Lily. So tomorrow at 9 p.m. I will do that topic. I got to word it the right way, with the exception of a few. Yeah, that's true. You know. Um, so, and yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. leave that till tomorrow. Mia says, everyone, please have a great night and may you all have your holiday. May, yeah, that's the thing too. We're talking about Jesus this Easter weekend, and you want me to talk about sex with narcs? I'll get into it though. We can talk. Mia says, "Lucky you, Lily." Haha. So, um, to finish, Mia says, everyone, please have a great night and may you all enjoy your holiday. May you all have a peaceful and restful night's sleep. You're so sweet. Kalibi says, I think I've been dealing with different narcs all my life, just different kinds of severity. Yeah, that's, yeah. Debbie says, I need to hear all the nasty things they do, so I run. Uh-oh. I don't have to do demonstrations, do I? I'm just teasing. Yeah, we can talk. We can talk. Basil says the ones I knew can't be faithful to their partners because they don't believe in loyalty to others. Yeah, it's a control thing. They want to see what they can get away with. They want to see what they can accomplish. They also don't like saying no. Why? You know? Oh, cool. Lily, we will be here at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night. Um, and that's the thing. I know you don't say Easter. I do not like that term. It's about Jesus, not a egg laying bunny. I agree. I do agree, but doesn't the word Easter mean like rising or something like that? Um, so it's the bunny that is it the word Easter? What is the exact translation of Easter? Oops, why am I calling voicemail? Uh, let's see that before we go. What does let's see, what does the word Easter actually mean? Web page not available. What the heck? Okay, Google, what does the word Easter mean? It might just say holiday. What does the Bible say about the word Easter? Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. According to his great mercy, he has caused us do. That's not what I'm looking for. It's a Christian holiday, Eastern Latin. It means it comes from the Old English term for spring festival. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I get what you're saying. Like, and you're right. He is the reason for the season. Debbie says, cool, Lily. Lily says, yes, Basil can't be faithful. And Deb says, Mia, you're funny. Mia says, Easter comes from the goddess Ishtar. Oh, okay. I haven't done enough research. Okay. I didn't realize that. Is that a Greek mythical god? I don't know. I don't know enough about that kind of stuff. Kalibi says, I'll probably make some hard-boiled eggs and Korean spicy soy. I love soy sauce. I don't know about spicy, but I love soy sauce. I'm still learning Korean cuisine. Hmm. It sounds good. It sounds way different. I'll have to look up some Korean cuisine. I like the Chinese food. Um, I just don't like seafood. Lily says my Google heard that and is answering. I love it. Yeah, that's too funny. All right, guys, lots of love to you. And we'll talk about sex. Let's talk about sex, baby, tomorrow. Sex on the narcissist. We'll get into their mindset. We're not, yeah, just on Saturday. And yeah, we're not definitely talking about it on Sunday. Yeah, no, we're gonna go repent that we talked about it on Sunday. And that's the thing, though. Like, sex is something beautiful, but we're talking about it not to get freaky, but to understand. So this is not show up in your satin robe. This is like, let's understand. Eggs in the day were rolled for fertility to the goddess Ishtar. Um, yeah, I think I heard something about that. As far as that's why they do all the eggs, something like that, and the bunnies too. They interesting. So yeah, this will not be tips and techniques to get freaky. It'll be on similarities and warning signs. Um, yeah, we're not gonna get a little crazy on that. So lots of love to you guys, and thank you. And Mia, that's very interesting. I'll have to look further into that. So, happy Good Friday, and think about um, the reason for the season. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.